Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What is up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
So, today we have an interesting
Rabbit
rabbit
hole?
hole. It's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole, but it's also an allegory.
It is.
So, who have we talked about?
It's something. It's someone we refer to often.
Yes. Who is it?
Fat Steve.
He's Fat Steve. So, I've been like fleshing out Fat Steve's fictitious backstory.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's so funny that Fat Steve has a backstory. Let's reintroduce Fat Steve
We're gonna go
because
top to bottom
okay,
with Fat Steve.
because I'm sure there's some people that don't know who Fat Steve is.
We're gonna trace every crevice.
Oh crap.
So the reason I want to do an examination of Fat Steve is because I feel like he's a perfect metaphor.
He
He's a
is.
perfect allegory.
I mean, that's how he came about really too. And that's how, we have like a lot of like inside jokes that I think hopefully our audience enjoys.
Yeah.
But because I feel like with inside jokes, when you have inside jokes with people, you become closer, don't you think?
Totally.
Because it's just you share this little joke that just only you know about. And
It's exclusive membership.
yeah, so I hope that our listeners can be part of that and feel like we have this little inside joke with them as
We have
well.
a kinship.
We have a kinship and we're sharing it with our listeners.
That's right. And what I think we can use is Fat Steve can become a trope that we use over and over again.
Yes.
So let's break down Fat Steve. So
Yeah.
some of our listeners who've been listening to us for a long time are going to be very familiar with Fat Steve.
Yes.
But we came up with Fat Steve in the context of blue-pilled people.
Right.
So when you're talking to a blue-pilled person and you say, dude, Trump is in bed with that country from 1948. They go, "Oh my God, Butterfly, is everything just black to you? Is there no hope?"
True.
And you go, "Well, no, it doesn't mean that there's no hope, but I can't just put on blinders that the guy's a good guy."
Yeah.
And they just go, "Well, I'm not going to even entertain that idea because it's just too scary." I
Right.
think that was the quote.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "It's just too scary."
Yeah.
I was open with pushing back against the cooties, but now we're moving into dangerous waters where I could be permanently canceled and lose my Tesla. And that's unacceptable to me. So I'm going to go ahead and take my new blue pill, and I recommend you take one too.
That reminds me of our episode, The New Blue Pill, which was a really good one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was one of our early episodes,
Yeah.
New Blue Pill, and that was exactly what it was. It was people who were pushing back against the COVID, and we felt like they were a part of our movement
Mm-hmm.
back when we had Red Pill Corner. But now Elon and Trump are in the arena fighting for us,
Mm-hmm.
and you push back against that, and they're not willing to hear it. They
They
go,
don't.
"No, I've taken the blue pill, I'm
Well,
afraid."
that was what was ironic to me was that some of the people were so like awake and aware during cooties and they were like totally asking all these questions and fighting back against all of the tyrannical BS. But then like when these new things started happening, I mean there's things happening all the time. They just put blinders on and they didn't want to ask any questions. They were just
Nothing.
accepting everything they were being told. And I was like, well, we need to question everything. But so I think you came up with the analogy of that it's like you're on a cruise and the fat Steve goes up to the buffet. And do you want to
That's right.
explain
Well,
that,
that's
Steve?
exactly right. So the analogy is these blue-pilled people, and I feel like it's not just the new blue-pilled people. There's other people who have been blue-pilled all along. They
Hmm.
never even got red-pilled. And those
Those are
people,
really the
those are
fat
really
Steve.
the fat Steves. So what they've done is they've turned a blind eye to civilization going off the cliff.
Right.
So the analogy that we used was Fat Steve is a big fat dude in a Rascal. And we talked about the cruise. The cruise has the you when you take a cruise, you can just eat yourself into oblivion for the entire
Totally.
cruise.
That's Fat Steve.
That's Fat Steve. You can go to the breakfast buffet, and then before they're even done breaking that down, they put up the lunch buffet. Then before they're even done breaking that down, you have formal dinner where you can order up to 7 entrees and just pick off of each one, throw the
Just
rest away.
gorge yourself.
Just praetorium decadence, late Roman Empire. And then and then but that's as if that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Because they even serve breakfast at the dinner. I mean, they even serve dessert at the dinner.
Oh God.
So I've seen them bring out huge baked Alaskas to people's tables,
Cherries Jubilee.
cherries Jubilee. So they have these decadent desserts. And then so these people waddle back to their cabins, some rascals.
Rascal back.
And then they have for those with enormous appetites like Fat Steve, they have the midnight snack.
Midnight snack.
And the midnight snack is a eclectic buffet.
Mhm.
It's got offerings that don't typically go together, like fondue and roast beef and cottage cheese.
Jello.
For only the most discerning savory appetite. So the Jello is a big favorite.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they'll have stations like fondue stations. So we came up with a meme the other day where
You can get an actual visual image of Fat Steve
you can see him in all of
if
his
you
glory.
go to our Instagram account at Unslave Your Mind Podcast. You can see what Fat Steve looks like.
Please go and comment on our meme of him.
Yeah.
So in the meme, what happens is one of the attendants on the cruise comes up and informs Fat Steve and says, "Sir, the uh, the boat has hit an iceberg, and you have to make your way to the lifeboats. We're sinking." And Fat Steve goes, excuse me, I'm having fondue.
And where's the roast beef?
Where is the roast beef? That's all I need from you." So Fat Steve has a policy of zero data.
Yeah.
He wants to know zero data
Right.
because he doesn't want to be disrupted from his blue pill adventure.
I was just gonna say that the data would disrupt his blue pill.
That's exactly right.
Oh
See?
my gosh. I was literally just gonna
That's
say
such a
that.
cool jinx
Yeah.
because that's the gist of this episode is Americans do not want to
Disrupt
disrupt their
their
blue
blue
pill
pill.
adventure
Yeah.
because the blue pill is such where you're minimizing any suffering and you're tuning out any data that might
Going.
detract from your enjoyment of your Tesla and your gated community
Yeah.
and your lifestyle.
And anything that might go against that might contradict it, you don't even want to hear it.
You don't want to rock the boat, another
Right.
analogy, right?
Hmm.
So the point
Rock the
is
cruise ship.
the cruise ship hitting the iceberg is an analogy for our society going over a cliff.
Right.
And civilization itself, Western civilization itself, being in free fall.
Which is what's happening right
It's
now.
what's happening. And we've talked about what that is. It's because mostly white Americans have allowed this to happen to themselves. They've allowed themselves to become immoral, bottomless pits. Remember
Hmm.
when we talked about that?
Yes.
And an immoral, bottomless pit means that morality doesn't govern their conduct at all.
No.
Americans are not governed by morality any longer. We don't have values anymore.
We've become the end of the Roman civilization where we're
Mhm.
just gorging ourselves
The
on,
praetorium.
on yeah, with food and excess of, entertainment and scrolling and immoral behavior.
Sexual immorality,
Yeah.
debauchery,
And it's in all of our, like, entertainment on our movies and music and everything. And it's like the end of the Roman civilization.
it's comparable to the end of civilization. And then you go and you tell the people you need to wake up and stop being an immoral, bottomless pit. Because our civilization's gone over a cliff, and they go, "Excuse me, where's the roast beef and the fondue? I've got my fondue tray mounted to the handlebars of my Rascal." You understand?
So great.
So then today I was thinking, I was kind of fleshing out Fat Steve's backstory, and I
Mm.
was like, "So, who is this Fat Steve guy?"
Was
So
he always fat?
He got fat at a young age.
Okay.
He got fat at a young age. My take on him is he became a shut-in,
Oh yeah.
and then the couch bed that he was laying in macrameed to his ass and back. And so he was removed from his living room via chopper about 10 years ago. And they had to go to his Oregon home, his humble Oregon home, and they had to open up the roof and lower down like a retracting apparatus and pull up him and his bed out of his living room and then take him to a emergency facility via chopper. And then
A gruesome picture.
and then when he gets there, the medical examiner takes pictures of his macrame ass and how the upholstery has adhered to his back and buttocks, which I'm not making that up. That actually happened to a woman.
I've heard about that.
That was a real story.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that happened to Fat Steve.
Wow, I didn't know Fat Steve was that fat.
Fat Steve was that fat. So he got macrame. When we showed him in the meme, he trimmed down a little bit, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more mobile now than he used to be.
Yeah.
So what happened is he filed a lawsuit against the upholstery company, and in an unprecedented victory, he won a huge payout from them, and that's what funds his lifetime cruise experience. So now he's a multimillionaire and he can just live on a cruise ship and rascal around from cruise to cruise,
And just gorge himself.
from cruise to cruise, buffet to buffet for the rest of his life. And I made a shirt that says "He rascals on," and it just shows him like gloriously going on and on. But my take is he's actually a harbinger for the end of civilization, and him rascaling on is not a good sign, it's an ominous sign
Right.
of the end of civilization, and it's oblivion marching on. That's what he represents. So then I had that part of his backstory, so that's how he got his money. And then now he has also created a product with some couch makers that they line the couch in like prophylactic latex so that
So
no
nobody
matter,
can get crocheted.
even if you are a shut-in for like 20 years and have not moved from your couch in 20 years, the rubber will always not cause you to have like bed sores, and you'll never stick to it. They
Gross.
can always just slide you right out of there.
Oh my God.
So it's like it's kind of shut-in friendly couching.
Oh,
But
but
I
we
was thinking, go
we
ahead.
might need more and more of that in the future.
Well, that's what I was thinking. So the insurance company, why did they settle out of court with Fat Steve? Is because the discovery on the case was showing that uh, there are 20 to 30 million Americans who are like Fat Steve and just shut in. Because could you conceivably see data coming back that we have like 20 to 30 million shut-in obese people who don't even leave the home in this
Well,
country?
well, this is what's bringing to mind is all of the really like just out of shape, unhealthy, youngish people who just eat nothing but junk food, fast food,
Totally.
and drink Diet Coke all day and stay in their houses and play video games.
That's part of
Like,
being an immoral bottomless pit.
yeah, and there's so many of those people now, and I think like how they want this digital prison for us, and they want us to be living in 15-minute cities.
Mhm.
I think that's all part of it because
Yeah,
if you're living in some coffin size apartment and all your only hope of like getting out in the world is like through your VR goggles, which is what they want. I think like this is going to make a lot more fat Steves
totally. It's
because
conducive.
they're
And you
not
can
going to go
order
any
your Wingstop delivered to your door. You don't even
it
have to go anywhere.
right. It's like DoorDash. All these DoorDash things are going to be like delivering your food, and all these people are going to be living like that where they just stay in these 15-minute city
Have you noticed that
apartments.
the apps also are kind of like fatty food?
Oh yeah.
Like anything you order on the app is probably going to be fatty and bad for you.
Yeah, they're not delivering. I don't think people that are ordering stuff like that are really having like fresh fruit and vegetable groceries delivered to their
No,
house.
no.
They're having like fast food delivered,
They'll have like Carl's Jr. or Taco Bell or
delivered.
Wingstop and deliver that. And that stuff, I mean, like I was telling you the other day, I had a triple famous star combo, which is not advisable, but
I
it was
can't believe
good.
I can't believe you. You know what? I have never eat. Is that Carl's Jr.?
Yeah,
I have never eaten Carl's Jr.
I can't believe
I've
that.
never had Carl's Jr. or Jack in the Box.
You're not missing too much with Jack in the Box. I've enjoyed
Yeah,
Jack in the Box several times, but Carl's Jr. has been a favorite of mine. It's going all the
really.
way back to the
I should
80s.
probably try it sometime.
They're delicious. I've never had bad stuff there. As a matter of fact, I like it better than In-N-Out. Some people don't.
What?
Totally. Carl's Jr. I
Wow.
like better than
Oh, you
In-N-Out.
know what I have had? Is that the one that has like the crisscross fries
Yeah,
and
they're
the fried
killer.
zucchini?
Totally.
Okay, I've had those two things from there, but I've never tasted like a burger or
Their burgers are killer. They're
yeah.
flame broiled. They're killer. It's like Burger King on steroids. But anyways, I bring it up because that's kind of the type of food that you're going to order with an app.
Yeah, totally.
You're not gonna order healthy shit.
No.
Your laziness is also laziness in terms of making good food choices.
Yeah, you know what? That's interesting. I saw a really interesting post on Instagram the other day that I found to be really interesting. It was saying like how you can tell like a person's spending habits and organization by looking at their house, and they were saying like if they've just got like tons of stuff, like just stuff in their house, they probably have
Like a hoarder.
not even like a hoarder, but just lots of stuff and
Clutter.
clutter, mess. They probably have bad spending habits and saving habits because they're obviously just like going out buying these you know things on a whim and not like really thinking about like making an
I could see
investment and
that.
stuff. And then it was saying how like you know they probably or are buying like a lot of like fast food and takeout. They're not like you open their refrigerator and they don't have a refrigerator that's stocked full of like food and healthy stuff to cook. They just have an empty, pretty much empty refrigerator and there's lots of takeout boxes.
Some people eat out almost exclusively.
Yeah,
And that is so bad because
it's so bad.
all of these places are designed. I think the agenda is to make people obese shut-ins because you just made me think of that's kind of an epiphany. 15-minute city living, being a obese shut-in is conducive.
hmm
And just rascaling around to your local Starbucks down the road is conducive.
So it kind of plays along with this whole spending thing too, because if you think about it, like you end up spending way more money on that kind of stuff. Like if you're buying like fast food is not cheap anymore.
At
Like
all.
it's expensive. Like you could go to the grocery store and buy the ingredients to make for your whole family and they'll be healthier and you're going to end up spending the same or less and you're going to have a whole meal that's healthier and like Starbucks everything at Starbucks is super expensive and they've got mind control and
Totally.
I'm convinced now that the smell when you go into Starbucks
Oh yeah.
I don't think that that's just the brewing of the coffee that is permeating the air
No.
that you walk out of that place and you smell like Starbucks. Your whole self, your everything you're wearing is permeated with that
You
smell.
knew I was at a Starbucks just when I walked in
I
to the
know. I'm
studio.
like, you smell like coffee.
And I'm wondering if they pump that in
Well,
because
I
we've
think they
talked about
do.
how in the casinos they pump in
At Vegas, in Vegas, yeah, they have that smell. And like I just read that
Disney.
walking down Main Street at Disneyland, you smell that bakery smell when you walk. I read that that's not coming from the bakery. They probably don't even bake those things at that place. They pump the smell out onto the street so people smell it and go, "Oh, fresh cookies." And they can smell that. It's artificial. So I think they're doing that at Starbucks too,
I know that smell you're
you
talking
know?
about too. And now you think about it, it smells artificially sweet. It
Mm-hmm.
smells like artificial sweetener made into an aroma.
Uh-huh.
So, anyways, I was thinking Fat Steve, see, so his backstory kind of is because I was thinking our legal system, I could totally see rewarding Fat Steve's behavior.
Oh, yeah.
you
Our
know?
legal system rewards bad behavior.
So being a fat, lazy glutton, they're just like, that's good, good, good. Because it's conducive to what we're guiding you towards that.
Because if you're living a life like that, you're probably going to end up on big shawarma.
You're gonna end up
You know
on
what
big
I mean?
shawarma.
You're probably going to go in for like a gastric bypass surgery, and then you're going to be on,
You're in
or
the healthcare
Ozempic.
system.
Yeah,
Oh, and Ozempic. You know Big Steve's on Ozempic.
you're,
So that's one thing. And then the other thing too that Fat Steve represents is comfort at all costs
yeah,
and people who are unwilling to
put
take
any effort.
themselves out of comfort.
Yeah. It reminds me of this, I guess it was a slogan, but there was a poster at my high school that said it was by I think it was by the swimming pool, and it said there's no gain without pain.
Hmm.
And I think so many people don't want to suffer a little bit for a long-term
At
benefit,
all, at
you
all.
know?
And part of the suffering that we're talking about that's very, very important is being red pilled.
Hmm.
Because we've talked about being red pilled suffers. You suffer
Yeah.
because now suddenly you know the truth and the truth is daunting.
But you got to suffer a little bit for long-term gain.
You have
You
to.
can't just cruise along and everything's just like wonderful all the time and not like, you know, make any advances towards improving anything, you
That's
know?
right. That's right. So, anyways, I was thinking Steve's backstory was that he wins a big like a
Lawsuit.
landmark lawsuit, and everyone's talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, this was a big victory for shut-ins going
Yeah,
forward."
now he's like the first one, and
Yeah,
yeah,
like the girl at the Met Gala, she
she was
was
the first trans paraplegic cerebral palsy what
black.
black. Yeah, what else did she had like she checked off like multiple boxes.
Yeah, I think she was a purple people eater as
Yeah.
well. Anyways, that's what I think it is. I think it's like we have become, as a society, um, people who have put their blinders on and are so self-indulgent and so blinded with oblivion that we're literally going down with the ship. The ship has, in my opinion, the ship's hit an iceberg.
Hmm.
We need to make our way to lifeboats, and that's another allegory. The lifeboats are the alternative healthcare system, the alternative government that we're going to have to create, the alternative economy that we're going to have to create, and that's going to come from the people and the people making choices.
Hmm.
That's all it is. Like you were saying, don't use ChatGPT if you care about graphic designers having a future.
Yeah.
You, as a consumer, your decisions make changes.
Hmm.
And that's what people kind of forget, I think. I think people kind of feel powerless because the media convinces people that you have no power. But actually, your voice does have power.
It does. And they make they put these things out there that are so easy. It's so easy to do the thing that they want you to do. And the other thing is harder, you know?
What they want you to do is just keep watching your Netflix, keep taking your big shawarma. Like Fridays, go to Fridays.
Hmm.
Remember?
Not we're not talking about that cheesy restaurant from the 90s.
No, that used to be so much better. Did you ever go there back in the
I
early
did.
time?
Yeah, I used to go there. It
Dude,
was fun. They had like big like hot fudge sundaes and stuff,
yeah.
right? Didn't they?
Dude, I went to the one in Torrance when I must have been like 7 or 8 years old. So this is like the early 80s. And I
Hmm.
remember to this day it being one of the thrills of my life.
Oh my
TGI
God.
Fridays was super nice.
Yeah.
When you went in, they had like all of this foliage inside. There was these big plants
Oh wow.
and it was real cool inside. They had all these hanging ferns and it really felt like a bitchin' place to walk through.
Yeah.
As a little kid, I was like checking it all out. And then they had these big rattan chairs that you sat in, and it was really cool. And the the portions were huge. The
Yeah.
food was killer.
Yeah.
Everything was awesome. I went there recently, and totally has an Applebee's feel now.
Oh yeah,
It feels
totally.
like Applebee's.
Yeah.
Feels like any kind of airport food you would get when you're
Right.
waiting at the gate.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyways, it's gone downhill. But what I was thinking was like um, the other Fridays,
Yeah.
the one that's out now.
The one you told me about. I didn't even know about this one, but it's funny.
It's one shop stop for your big shawarma.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get your boner pills, you can get your antidepressants,
Mm-hmm.
you can get
Weight
your
loss.
GLP-1s,
Mm-hmm.
but you can also get your balding medication. So, you can men and women can get all of their good.
Everything. One-stop shopping.
And that's probably the type of easy fix that they're looking for you to do.
Right.
They're like, "Are you fat, depressed, and impotent? Come here."
And bald.
I'm bald. I mean, that sucks, but there's a lot of dudes who are like, "Yes, I tick off all those boxes," which sucks.
They're like, sign up right
You're
here.
here. All you gotta do is just come in, because we've talked about that too. So you're fat, bald, and impotent. That sucks.
You're probably not gonna have a good weekend.
You're probably depressed about that. You're living in a dystopia, a collapsed third world hellhole. You're fat, bald, and impotent.
Maybe that's why you're fat, bald, and impotent.
Yeah. And then you just do okay. So then you go to Fridays and they go, "Are you depressed? Here. Here's some big shawarma."
Oh, but the side effect might be stroke and suicidal thoughts,
Suicidal thoughts. Hanging yourself
suicide
by
by
a scarf
hanging,
from a doorknob.
and death.
You
But
might order
here's some
your own
other
coffee.
pills. Here's
We've
some
had
other pills for
people
that.
we've had people go through the Norway program of ordering their own coffin from taking this pill. So we just have to let you know that is a side effect. So
But we sell coffins
we sell coffins too. It's Friday's coffins
and scarves.
and scarves. If you want
Your
to hang
gift with
yourself,
purchase.
you can rent one. You can't own it.
Yeah, you'll
Klaus Schwab.
you'll own nothing and
Klaus
you'll be
Schwab says
happy.
you'll own nothing and be happy, so you
You
can rent
rent
a
your
scarf,
coffin.
rent a coffin, and
I mean, you're
then
not gonna really need it long anyway.
no, we'll gas you, we'll cremate you, and then we'll just dump your ashes like in your backyard,
And then we'll re-rent the
and
coffin to
then we'll
somebody
just
else.
have a UPS driver pick up your coffin and bring it to your neighbor. So that's the easy route.
Right.
The difficult route is, okay, you're fat, bald, and impotent. Guess what? You need to remove all of the bad habits that you're doing.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a word that John Wooden uses in the Pyramid of Success. It's called dissipation. Have you ever heard that word?
No.
Dissipation is any type of behavior that doesn't contribute to optimal performance.
Hmm.
So, drinking energy drinks used to be that for me. Remember how bad they were for
I
me?
know. You were hooked on those.
So, drinking energy drinks would be an example. So, like, if you're fat, bald, and impotent dude, and you're sitting there, first thing you need to do is get an exercise regimen.
Yeah.
Second thing you need to do is you need to change your diet, only eat sensibly, probably just prescribe yourself a diet every day, and don't cheat.
Yeah.
And then remove any drugs or alcohol that you're taking, and you'll start noticing dramatic differences.
That's the thing, like a lot of those people they do these drastic weight loss things, but actually if they just started eating healthier, they'd probably drop like tons of weight without all of that stuff. In fact, they would for sure because I know some people that just eat like pigs and they wonder why they're fat and they're doing like these drastic weight loss things and I'm thinking all you would have to do is just stop eating like a pig. You don't need that weight loss stuff.
That's the
You
fat
will
Steve paradigm.
lose weight if you don't eat like a pig, you
Totally.
know?
That's it. And that's the fat Steve paradigm. It's I don't want to know information that might cause me suffering. I just want to keep placating my appetites and my ego and just not deal with that reality because that is the reality. And we've talked about that. People just need to change their habits.
Hmm.
You don't need to inject Gila monster venom into your stomach
No,
just to paralyze your stomach.
that's so gross.
Remember that one lady that you knew that was like
Doubled over.
injecting it and doubled over in pain, and you're like, "That's probably from those injections." She's like, "No, no, it's not. By the way, I'm gonna go get my fourth plate at the buffet. I'll be right back."
Hmm.
And she just doesn't she eat like enormous amounts of food?
Enormous amounts. Yeah.
I saw this fat girl today, and she was like at Taco Bell, and she was wearing a big Frankenstein shirt. It was like a
Oh
big
God.
tent on her, and I just go, "Oh, Frankenstein, that's a cool shirt." And then she was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," but she was not interested. She was eyeing the menu at Taco Bell with the intensity of like a sniper in the bush. I could see her just like, "Don't interrupt me right now. I'm picking out my entrees." I think food becomes a drug.
Oh yeah, for sure. What were you doing at Taco Bell, Firefly?
When you got Taco Bell,
My God,
I
you're gonna
know.
end up like Fat Steve.
Totally. And I feel that. I had Taco Bell today and I feel like fat pustules developing on me as I speak. You can feel it.
Oh,
It's so fattening. But my daughter wanted to go there and I couldn't go there without getting something. It's kind of like going to like a crack house and not
yeah,
getting any crack.
totally.
It's like, well, I might as well when in Rome.
I know.
But
I know.
okay, so for this point though, I have fast food every once in a while.
Yeah.
I eat at home most of the time.
I mean, I think like everything in moderation. You know what I mean? We're not like hardcore about I think living hardcore about anything is for one, it's way too difficult. But I also think like if you deprive yourself of like everything that's like
All
somewhat
work and
bad.
no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah, you gotta have some vices once in a while or some treats, like I know I hear some people are like, well, I don't watch movies or TV or anything and I don't drink and I don't eat this and I don't and I'm thinking, well, I don't know, what fun is that? Like I I think life
Yeah.
is to be enjoyed and some of those things are part of enjoyment. Now, if you don't get any enjoyment out of it, I guess whatever. But I can't imagine never watching a movie or never watching, I mean, I have Netflix because I do like watching movies and I realize a lot of it's social engineering and I can see what they're doing, but I'm not going to just never watch a movie or never have like a treat or never ever go to Taco Bell if that's what I like. But
Denial of the flesh can become fanatical.
yeah, it can be.
They had these guys back in the Middle Ages. They are called ascetics. Have you ever heard of them?
Mm-hmm.
The ascetics were these Christians that had this belief that they had to chastise their sinful flesh daily.
Mm-hmm.
And they would tie these like belts with spikes around their thigh and train it up once a day. I feel the pain. And then they just go, Jesus, I I chasten my sinful flesh for you. And Jesus is going, dude, I didn't tell you to
Like,
do that.
yeah, like if you're suffering, then you're living a good life. I don't think that's right. I don't think
It's
you have to suffer. I
no
think I think life is to be enjoyed, and that doesn't mean becoming a glutton and being an immoral bottomless pit.
self-control.
Self-control is part of that.
That's what it is. That's what
Everything in moderation.
and that's what it gets back to Fat Steve and the boat hitting the iceberg.
He's got no self-control.
He's got no self-control. As a matter of fact, when it comes to self-preservation, he is completely oblivious to it.
Yeah, because he would rather have his pleasures, which is food,
All the way to the grave.
yeah, instead of making his way to the lifeboats.
As the boat goes down, he's just gonna sink,
He's still
rascal and
happy
all.
because he's still on his rascal with his fondue.
Totally. He's got his Japanese made steel fondue implements.
I think our listeners really need to check out the meme we made on
Look at the detail.
Instagram
And
because
I
it's
love it.
so good.
His cargo shorts and his socks and his Crocs. He's rocking the socks and
His
Crocs.
fondue pot.
His fondue pot mounted to the steering mechanism of the Rascal, which was so awesome. So, anyways, he represents that in that he is refusing to make any kind of change. And he's refusing to hear any kind of data that might suggest that we're in peril. And the iceberg represents our loss of Christian values in this country. I've always said, you might disagree, you might just say values. But I'm a Christian. I say it's Christian values. We used to collectively have Christian values. Like, if you think back to like the 1950s and even the early 60s, if a woman came out and was like divorced, it was like kind of shocking. Now, women have like 9 kids with 9 different dudes. And that's like, dude, just full on regular par for the course,
Right.
you know?
I mean, even like a lot of big Hollywood actresses that are supposedly so classy and beautiful. I mean, like Kate Hudson. She's got like 3 kids with 3 different men. That would be really not acceptable, like back in the
In the
50s.
50s, you would be considered a hussy.
Hmm.
And then,
She would
or
probably be like banned from society,
totally,
you
or
know,
like Demi Moore,
Scarlet Letter.
Demi
Yeah,
Moore or Madonna.
yeah,
These are just like hussies.
yeah. But people like idolize these people and think they're so glamorous,
Totally.
you know.
Well, like even compared to Marilyn Monroe, they're hussies.
Hmm.
Like Marilyn Monroe might have been like having an affair with a married man or whatever, but even still, she was more classy.
Hmm.
You know, we had Christian values,
Yeah.
and people at least acknowledged that, okay, sexual immorality is wrong, and
Yeah, they
eating yourself
acknowledged
into
that it was wrong.
exactly.
Like now it's like celebrated.
You don't
It's
even
like
acknowledge that it's
celebrated.
wrong.
It's
That's right.
like all the singers and people that go out there like dressed like total whores and
Total whores.
they make, their shows are like really not good examples for kids and
They
it's
advocate for sexual immorality
yeah.
and living this lascivious life, but then they don't really attain to Christian values in terms of their worldview either. They are quick to worship the media.
Hmm.
I think that's another thing that's been evil is when people turned away from Jesus as their North Star, the media became their North Star. And so now, as long as we've used this term media sanctioned,
Yeah.
that's what kind of I was fleshing out Fat Steve's backstory because he's kind of media sanctioned, Fat Steve.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of a victim and he's kind of just like an unapologetic victim who's just going to go eat his way into oblivion.
Yeah, totally. I
And
was
he's
gonna say that.
determined. It's kind of like Leaving Las Vegas with Nick Cage. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Where he goes, I came to Las Vegas to drink myself to death, and you're not going to stop me. Fat Steve has the same fatalistic kind of world.
Right.
He's there to eat himself to death on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
And when you tell him the cruise ship has hit an iceberg and it's going down, he doesn't care. He's fatalistic. I think Americans have become fatalistic with the demise of our civilization.
I think so too.
We're all collectively in Las Vegas here to
I
drink
think,
ourselves to death.
I mean, it really does feel like we are in like the end of the Roman Empire. I mean, a modern day version, but it's like that, that debaucherous, like immoral, just,
Look at the Met Gala, how bloated
uh,
and
you
how
know,
dead inside those people were.
their eyes,
They're so dead.
they look dead.
And it is a kind of death. It's a spiritual death.
Yeah.
That's what happens. When you become an immoral bottomless pit, and we've talked about that, that means that um, morality does not govern your conduct. That's an immoral bottomless pit. And when you become an immoral bottomless pit and you no longer have morality, you begin to die spiritually. And I've seen that's kind of the sleepwalkers that you see walking around.
I keep picturing Madonna at that.
Did you see her
It,
face?
yeah, and her eyes just look totally vacant.
Totally vacant. And she's like, I have a boat on my head and I'm going through storm. Okay. And my 26-year-old Latino boyfriend, that's kind of sexually immoral too. She doesn't promote get with a husband, raise kids, and have a family. And like, remember, like think about your mom and dad, your grandma and grandpa. They'd get married and be married. My mom was married to my dad for 59 years,
Yeah. My parents have been married for like 60 something years.
60 something years. And you're with that person for the rest of your life. And you know what's so funny that I notice is it might be turbulent when the kids are little, the marriage, but when you get into your 50s and 60s, they became so close, my mom and dad.
Oh, that's interesting.
They just became such partners in crime and
Uh-huh.
just always doing stuff together and finishing each other's sentences. So there's a reward for staying with the same person for your
Yeah.
whole life.
Yeah.
It's the way things are supposed to be, but we've moved away from that.
Yeah, totally.
So, in anyways, that's kind of the Fat Steve paradigm. The Fat Steve paradigm is I'm just going to eat myself into oblivion. I don't want to hear about the fact that we've hit an iceberg. I think that's a larger phenomena. I think that Americans are like that. They don't want to hear that societally and civilizationally speaking, we have hit an iceberg. We've gone over the precipice. And the only way to right the ship is to get values back into our lives again. Have values, have self-control, have the ability to control yourself
Yeah.
around food, sex, and drugs.
And people can do this by, raising their children to have these values and setting good examples
That's how you do it.
and, just living by example for others too.
That's what you do.
You know what I
You
mean?
got to provide an example. We have so many third world people coming into this country that we're just becoming a third world.
Hmm.
Like people come here from their third world countries and they don't bring an attitude of I want to assimilate into this first world country. I want to
No,
learn to be a first world
no.
person.
They want to bring their third world in and have a third world here.
They want to
They
have the third world be here.
they want to live exactly like they were back there. They want to live with all their third world people and have their same culture. And it's like, well, then what's the point of being here? Just to get like handouts, I guess.
And Americans who've grown up here and who've lived their whole lives here need to stand up and raise their voices and defend first world lifestyle. Because if we lose first world lifestyle, it's going to be Karachi. Remember that one girl who goes, "Stop being so xenophobic.
Yeah.
I'm going to Pakistan for my vacation. Oh my God, I got groped by 30 men. And look at this beautiful place." And it's like just ramshackle huts and like totally crowded with third world barbarians or some dude taking a dump in the street and then mixing your stew for you. And I'm just like, dude, I don't want to live like that.
Yeah.
I don't want that. If you want to live like that, go ahead.
Yeah.
Those people should make Pakistan great again.
You can go there and live there
Go
if
live
you
in
if
that.
it's so great. Yeah.
You're stoked. But I stand up for my first world
That's
way of life.
that's why I, think that it's so important to save culture and have different cultures in different places because like, okay, look at that lady thinks it's great and she thinks it's wonderful. She could go move there
Go live
and
there.
live her whole life like that.
She can be groped every day.
Yeah, but like I don't think it's great and I'm living here and I don't want those kind of people like bringing that kind of behavior here,
That's right.
So
And we
like
have that.
yeah, so like if I go to Ireland, I want to see Irish people and
White Irish people.
yeah, I want to have like shepherd's pie and go to a pub and hear some Irish music and appreciate the Irish culture. If I go to Japan, I want to see Japanese people. I want to eat sushi. I want to see like the Japanese culture. I don't want every place to look the same,
Dude, my
you
mom
know?
played me this Irish band playing these Irish folk songs, and it was fucking awesome. It
Yeah.
was kind of like, have you ever seen Siberian Orchestra?
No, but I like the Irish folk songs. Those
Dude,
are
it had
nice.
like powerful drums and it was these powerful bagpipes
Wow.
and it was powerful. It was like, whoa. See, I like that.
Yeah,
That's handed down from generation to generation.
that's culture.
It's kind of like this Mexican food that used to be over in Santa Paula. It's called Familia Diaz. Did you ever go in
I've
there?
been there. It's still there, I think.
It's changed.
Has it?
I went over there recently.
Oh, it's not good.
Dude, back in the 90s, though, it had been there since the 30s.
Yeah.
And the family owned it the whole time. And they had mole.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, it was so
I've
good.
never had mole.
Oh
I
my
need to
God.
order that
It's
next
got
time I go to Mexican food.
it's got cacao in it.
Yeah. And you know what I've heard some Mexican people telling me every mole is different. Like
Mm.
you could have mole at one place and you might really like it or you might not like it and don't think that that's how they all are because I guess like the ingredients that they put in there, everybody does it a different way.
Hmm. It's like the sauce, right?
Yeah.
It's like a gravy.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I like that place and I bring it up is because the traditions and the recipes have been handed down.
Yeah. And they're not the same.
No, well, now they're not
Hmm.
because the family, they got old, they sold it
They
off.
sold it.
Some new company bought it, and I went in there and it was just total run of the mill.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference between authentic
Mm.
and run of the mill,
Mm-hmm.
and it was run of the mill. But I like traditions being handed down. And if I go to Mexico, I want to see traditional Mexico.
Yeah.
But see, Mexico don't have to worry about that because they're
Yeah.
not getting erased.
Yeah.
White people are.
Yeah.
So that's part of the white pill for this episode. Stand up for first world and don't go down with the ship just eating at the buffet with Fat Steve.
Yeah.
Rascal away, get back to your cabin and start working
Get
out.
out of your rascal. Walk
Yeah,
walk to the cabin.
get to the point where you don't need a rascal. Like my cousin, dude, she went when she was like 21, she went to Disneyland and had to rascal around because she was too
What?
obese to walk around it
That's terrible. At 21?
at 21.
Oh my God.
And I feel bad for that because I feel like that's a failure of our society
Yeah.
to raise a kid to not know how to take care of themselves
Yeah,
and
totally.
just eat the wrong food and don't understand how to take care of yourself. And I think the Culture Club goes, good, good, good.
Oh yeah, they love it.
They want to get people off to a bad start in life because it's difficult to change your
It
habits.
is.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
So anything more on this one?
Well, I think you really wanted to talk about Fat Steve and what he really is an analogy for
He is an analogy.
you know, a much bigger thing. And we joke around about it, but he represents more than just what he is, you know? So you wanted to talk about Fat Steve.
Well, do you agree that that's kind of a big problem?
Yeah,
Is people just being oblivious? Everybody seems to be living their blue pill lifestyle right now,
totally.
like going on Trivago, and going on hotels, and going on vacations, and everybody's kind of just like looking at their circumstances and just going, "I don't want to rock the boat. Everything's fine."
Well,
Meanwhile, we've hit the iceberg and we're going down.
yeah, I think for most people it's too big and they can't like wrap their heads around like what they could do to fix it. And also, the system is making it so um hard to do anything. So it's like a vicious circle because you feel like what can I possibly do? But everybody can do something,
If
you
anything,
know?
just live a moral life.
Yeah,
Be moral
yeah,
and let people see, oh, that person has morality just by your conduct
right.
and by the testimony.
If more people just did that, it would make a huge difference.
Totally. I think that's the key.
Yeah,
Who said it? I think it was Bruce Lee. He said, be the change that you want to see in the world.
I love it. That's it.
That's the white pill.
That's the white pill.
Anything
Perfect.
else?
No.
All right. Thanks for going down my Fat Steve rabbit hole with me.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm
Would you
gonna,
think that was a good episode?
I loved it.
Good.
Yeah, made me hungry.
Let's go to the buffet.
I know.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Oh,
Huh?
last story.
What?
Remember my buffet story from the Chinese guy? When I was, so it was like back in like the early 2000s, I was going to the mall and they didn't have Panda Express back then. Back in like 2003, 2004, they had what's called Panda Buffet.
Oh yeah.
And Panda Buffet was this big Chinese food buffet.
Yeah.
And it was like a smorgasbord. And I was going to the mall and I was at the stop sign getting ready to go into the parking structure for the mall.
Hmm.
And I looked over and one of the guys that worked at Panda Buffet was smoking cigarettes. And I saw him, you know, put his hand down the crack of his pants, down the crack of his ass and scratch.
Gross.
And then just remove his hand, check his cigarette down, and go back in to go prepare food for the buffet
And you know he probably didn't go into the bathroom and wash his
at
hands.
all.
Yeah.
And I just was like, all, and I was like, I could never go there again. It was open
That's
for like years after that.
so gross.
Yeah. So the buffet is kind of like gross. Fat Steve doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
Fat Steve doesn't care. He goes, is that a pube? Remove that. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.